I'm a professional sex worker. I'm based in Thika.
Shida hii sekta ya Umalaya. Ndio kwanza tapia kujiexpose mchana si ati venye kuna kwa kuzuri. Hakuna mwanaume anaweza kubali kuja na mchana yote aonekana amechukua mwanamke na ameingia naye kwa room.
Sasa unaona mkienda na mtu pengine utavua nguo, si unajua anatumia asidi.
From a distance, you will spot them in broad daylight even when the sun is shining bright. Some even just casting their nets and luring men into their sex dungeons. Millie here, for example, uses her slying and lying tongue and lures these men into the rooms where it all happens. Some even go further to offer their services in offices and don't seem to care much about their health checks.
Unapata kama hutaki kupigwa inabidi una trade mwili yako ndo asikuchape. Akupeleke kwake akulale usiku yote mzima hakuna kitu na.
These are not just stories of desperation, not stories of satisfaction, not just stories to be disclosed. This is the daylight prostitution in Nairobi.
Fika saa 4 wewe unakuwa umejipanga kama kuna mtu hapa mnaenda kwa room.
Kupenda kwangu juu si kujifurahisha si nini. Ni kazi la umetafuta umekosa.
Not that the names and identities of the participants have been hidden for safety precautions and privacy of the participants. If you think that they are only found along Luthuli Avenue, one of the main centers of the sex den, Koinange Street, River Road, Accra, there is a beehive of their activities where both the old and young exchange sex for money. They do it in broad daylight, of course. Frida here, which is not her real name, talks about it all.
Umia paka nanza unasimama paka miguu inachoka.
Na maclient wenyewe hawana pesa.
In her own words, she is sometimes forced to sleep with some men for free for her own safety. Some of them are good at luring men and don't mind about the dangers they put themselves into. Even now, as all this escalates, not only in the Nairobi CBD, but now gone to residential estates. Take, for example, Kayole Estate, for instance, where the commercial sex workers operate in their hundreds just outside the popular Nyamavila Club, where the area is populated with several lodges and the sex workers as their clients. We also take a look at Majengo Estate, which is regarded as home of prostitution. Nairobi and famous for having the cheapest sex workers in this industry, as they term it. They just sit outside their rooms and stools as they wait for their customers. They do it for their families, they do it for their kids, they do it to survive. Of course, this is the story of the Nairobi daylight prostitution. These women have come here to do their business, as they term it. They do not focus on what people say. They do not focus on public opinions. They do not focus on the judgment that you give them. These women came here to feed their families. They come here to feed their kids. They come here to survive. So we're going to take a look at how they live and their lifestyle, and they're going to tell us all about it. So join me, your boy, at Troy_Talentrix, and my team, as we'll be hovering through the streets of Nairobi to bring you these exclusive stories of women who live and work as sex workers on Nairobi. Of course, we'll be starting with women from Ruiru Town, a place that is recently, a town that has recently started being a town that has recently of course, these women come from different regions here in Kenya, from Ruiru Town to Kayole to Huruma.